In this Swish 125 2015 model, this vehicle was parked for Suzuki Swish 2015. This vehicle was parked for some 6 months without turned on. So now in this carburetor there is like a pipe which is just hanging like this. This is not the drain pipe. The drain pipe is there below this. This one you can see. This is like overflow pipe, and also it maintains the atmospheric pressure inside the above the float chambers. Just a pipe they have left hanging. So in case your floats or the float pin is not able to block the intake of fuel from this, the intake, it is not able to stop it correctly on time, this will overflow. So I think the vehicle was parked unused, so the float pins that they stop that seating from which the fuel comes in, so now they are not able to, the pin is not able to block the hole from which the petrol is coming. So that's why now this overflow is happening. So every month, at least 2 times, you should start a parked vehicle and let the petrol flow happen through the carburetor. Otherwise, dirty carburetor, this kind of starting problem, jet getting blocked, an overflow problem and all will happen. I'll just show you. The fuel has started coming here. As soon as I start, petrol is coming here. Now I have to remove this and clean it. This is like a very dangerous situation. In Honda carburetor and all, the overflow will go from the drain pipe itself. That is down here. But here the overflow pipe is lying somewhere here. So it will flood your engine section with petrol. The design is very bad. And don't buy this kind of vehicle, because this carburetor will ruin your experience. Very bad design. This one you will never be able to set the RPM properly. Just be able to set it so that it doesn't turn off. So this Suzuki has made a very poor carburetor design in their 2015 and onwards model. After 2016 they copied from what is used in Honda Activa. Yeah, this is a new carburetor actually, but vehicle was left without starting for 6 months. And their body metal parts and all often are poor design. They get corroded. The bolts and all will get stuck. In this chamber, one CVT chamber, the bolt had become stuck. So I tried to remove it via welding. It didn't happen and all. The metal parts, the spare parts, they are all very expensive as well as poor quality. The engine, some design and all is good, but without good carburetor, this is the second time I replaced it once. Without good carburetor, your whole vehicle will be weak, a poor design. Yeah, so you can see I am cleaning the carburetor of Swish 125, which I told was leaking. So there was one particle in this where the float pin goes. That is this pin, this one. This one was clean, but here one black particle was there here on top of this cylinder, in inner cylinder. So I think that was preventing the this thing from fuel from getting in always from this line and not being able to block this when the fuel level was filled. So this is a new carburetor. I think they have uh, put some glue to attach this o-ring like here. So I think something like that went in and was blocking this. So you may need to clean this thing if you are not using the vehicle for a long time. Before restarting the vehicle, you have to clean it. One more thing, when you remove the pilot jet is single piece like this one, but the main jet consists of two pieces. One is this one and this one. This one, when you remove, it will come off directly, but this one is stuck many times stuck inside this bigger cylinder. So you have to gently tap this brass thing you are seeing. Okay, that one you have to tap from the top. See that brass you are seeing in the center. This one, you just tap it with some screwdriver gently, and then from this side it will come out. So that is this one, this main jet. Okay, this is the pilot jet. Sorry, this is also the main jet. This is main jet, and there are holes in this. The 4 holes are there. Yeah. Basically, this design has been changed now, and it's not a very good design. You can see this mixture screw. In Honda Activa and all, you have air screw. Here you have got a mixture screw. The tip is very pointed. So if you over tighten it, then the tip will break here. It will break inside. There is a tiny hole in this. It will break and stay in there. As this carburetor gets rusted, the tip will break if you over tighten it. And also there is a washer, and behind that washer there is a gasket o-ring. So that part, and above that this spring fits. This spring. Okay, so these parts are not available if they become degraded and all. The carburetor performance will go bad. That is one disadvantage, big disadvantage of buying Suzuki scooters and all. Whereas in Honda scooters, you will get the carburetor repair kits very easily. So this kind of washer, and behind that washer there is a o-ring. I am not able to pull that out, but that thing is not easily available. Yeah, this choke mechanism is also very poor in this. Once you pull the choke lever, you have to hold it pulled, then only it will work. Whereas in Activa, if you pull it, it will stay in that place. So this mechanism is all very poor on this Suzuki 2015 Access and backwards. The design is very poor. Then they later changed in 2016. See this gasket which the Suzuki people supplied is of poor quality. I have experienced before also. The o-ring which they supplied, which interfaces to the intake of the engine. The carburetor is connected to the intake of the engine. That o-ring also once expanded. That is a genuine part I bought from them. This one also had expanded when it came in contact with petrol. So it will not fit in this slot. So I cut this part and removed some 2 or 3 mm, and then only it is fitting in the groove. This thing was not at all fitting, so this elongated after coming in contact with petrol. So this is their OEM supplied carburetor, and here also this o-ring expanded. So the quality of material which Suzuki India supplies for its scooters is not at all good. This is their original part. So now I have to apply this silicone gasket sealant for this much part. After 6 months this expanded, and now it was not fitting in this groove. The length had become large, so I cut this much part. So consider before buying bikes and all from Suzuki, the engine may be good, but other parts which you get, spare parts, may not be available from other manufacturers, and whatever is available from them, Suzuki, the quality is not good, and prices are 3 times compared to Honda. You have to put it and wait to dry. Very poor product from Suzuki India. See, I have put that silicone seal, and it has dried after 24 hours of curing. I put back the screws and the sealing looks tight. In case your o-ring is broken or expanded and you want to cut it, you can apply that silicone sealant, but it will also expand when it comes in contact with gasoline, in continuous contact with gasoline. So the sealing looks okay. I don't know how to test it. Okay, so I'll just leave it like that. Another thing is this Suzuki Access old model carburetor. They give this screw, drain screw for draining from here, draining petrol from here as star type. That is this one. Here I have put it from a old motorcycle, Suzuki motorcycle carburetor repair kit. From there I got this slotted one. If this is star type, sometimes the this drain screw gets stuck with the body, the head will get damaged if it is star type, which is the default one which comes with the carburetor. This slot type I got from a motorcycle, old 2-stroke or 100cc 4-stroke motorcycle repair kit of that. That motorcycle is also from Suzuki. So that was fitting properly. These kind of things they will not consider while making it. And spare part for this is very difficult to get also. If this is star type, many times you will be damaging the head of the screw while trying to remove. So the slot type is always better. Even in this kind of doors, the hinges they put the slot kind of screws. That is another problem with this kind of carburetor. See, in this Access 125 model, that is Swish 125 2015 model, now the overflow is not happening. This one is not overflowing any petrol, because now that the float is properly working. The float pin is stopping the fuel, excess overflowed fuel. It is able to stop. So you have to be careful. This one will have the overflown petrol also, so it should not go to any place where combustible things are there, or to other place where the grease and oiling is done. The overflown petrol will spoil those things. Okay. One more thing is, I don't know why, but in this fuel cock, this is the vacuum line. Okay, this is the vacuum line. This is the line for petrol. So when I installed the carburetor, due to some reason, the vacuum, even though engine was being cranked, the vacuum was not pulling the fuel. But when I would pull the air with mouth, the fuel was coming. So after lot of trial and error, then it started working. I think this tube had become loose, and the vacuum was not going properly to the fuel cock. So this tube had some problems. That's why this fuel was not coming. That is another thing I faced today. And this design is very poor. See, when you put the seat, it will cover half this tube, intake tube, and the RPM varies. With only this much thing, the RPM, see, the engine starts dying. There's this much variation in fuel intake. See, now it will increase. This much variation in fuel itself, air intake itself, there is so much of variation in the engine output. So it's a very poor design. It's dependent on this thing, how the intake is there. If there is a cut here or below this filter, air filter, the engine performance will go bad and it may stall. Very poor design by Suzuki. And in this type of scooter, forget about setting the proper RPM in the carburetor and all to get the mileage. Here if it is working, that is good enough. Without fuel getting into the air filter or overflowing, it is working, that is good enough. Mileage will be very poor. You cannot set it only. And also the behavior is different when the engine is cold. It will stall frequently, and after it has become heated up, it will run faster. Those kind of things are there. This carburetor is very poorly designed. Carburetor, air filter, air intake, fuel overflow, even throttle mechanism. This will not stay in one place. It will go back. The choke mechanism, many things are poorly designed here. Slight variation in the air intake will affect the performance badly. Very bad thing compared to Honda scooters. This they have changed in the very next year, that is 2016 Suzuki Access. Yeah, so main point is that cleaning was needed. If you are not using it for long time, you should clean it. See, now this fell off. It had stopped.